Hello, this is the news of Lisa Luciardi, International News. I want to discuss the seriousness of the court case of police Chauvin and everything affiliated with it. Thank you so much. So we're going to discuss police Chauvin and the court case. Thank you very much. This is Lisa Luciardi, and I'll show you my write-up that I've written up regarding his case. I wrote a big document, a first document regarding police Chauvin in April 23rd, 24th, and 2021, and I sent it to different political figures in California, and also I put it on social media, and Epic newspaper picked it up, and other newspapers picked it up over the period of time. Now there's new things have come to pass, and this is about police Chauvin and our Floyd. So let's get to it, and so I'll show you the news that we're going to be discussing and regarding the people that are involved with the computer systems and the information systems with with 5 years later. So let's get to it. And I apologize, they're only allowing me to do it this way. Yesterday I spent almost much time to put it on the internet, and it was taken off and distorted. So let's begin again. It's very important that the people see the truth about the real case of police Chauvin and Floyd. 5 years later, justice after police.
When a police chief doesn't want you to look at police body cam videos, then you know you need to look beyond the lies and see the facts for yourself. From the very beginning, many of our so-called leaders misspoke and misjudged what was necessary to keep the peace and let justice truly prevail following the arrest and heart attack of George Floyd.
I can't choke. I can't breathe, love it.
Okay, I can't choke, I can't breathe. Well, he was putting him back in the car.
Police body cam video.
So I wanted to tell you, let's get to that point, because I am a political specialist in medical, and I'm also a political analyst, politician. I'm independent, Lisa Lucia Arden. I could show you my information, and I've been doing this work for a while now to show cases and issues that need to be fixed. But let's get to that point. He was already shortness of breath before police Chauvin put a legal action on his knee on the neck of Floyd. So he was already shortness of breath. He has a disease, many diseases that cause shortness of breath. So let's go on. So remember that. That's a very essential point that wasn't brought up.
Those were withheld. Lawyers engaged in lawfare. And riots, protests, and politics made any hope of a fair and impartial trial for the 4 accused officers nothing more than an impossibility. Even now, even after a defamation lawsuit filed by the assistant chief of the Minneapolis Police Department has been dismissed, police leaders, politicians, and the media are still warning all of us about trying to rewrite history by telling the facts.
So we need to tell facts, so we'll just get to the point. It's true that they were allowed to put the knee on the neck of any criminals for protection of the community, and to take the criminal away and stop the crime. But they actually lied, did perjury on themselves, and so we'll see it here, show it here. We have to realize they are cleaning things up now, and they're doing a much better job. So this is a witness that's on the police station, that was on the police station. He may still work there, Minneapolis, and that area that had experience where they were trained to put the knee on the neck for any criminals or to stop crimes. So there when they were the court case was on, they said that that was a illegal action. So let's go on. Of police Chauvin. They said that was illegal action, but it wasn't true. They perjured themselves. The people that were in the Minneapolis police program. So let's
were not
go.
trained or did not recognize the maximal restraint technique. What did you think about that testimony?
I know that I was trained in it. It was a huge thing that we did, and where the head goes, the body follows. We always would say that, and that was part of our testimony. We did it over and over and over for years. And to hear like the chief say it when how long was he even around at that time, you know? And Katie, you know, I knew Katie. She was our CSO on SWAT when she just started, so I knew her from the beginning of her career.
And Katie Blackwell is the lady that said that she's a trainer now in Minneapolis, or was at the time that Floyd died from his health issues, from cardiac issues, and other issues, which I'll show you. My name is Lisa Lucia Arden. I'm a medical specialist. I've been in medical practice for 20 years. So I wanted to say that let me show you that that was one of the things they said, that police Chauvin used the incorrect position, but that wasn't true. And Katie Blackwell, she perjured herself, and other people perjured themselves on the seat in the court. Let's go on.
When she said that, I'm like, how can you say that? I mean, this is what we all did. We were trained in it over and over and over, and I'd done that technique numerous times, both in training and on the street.
Why did you then want to speak up and speak out?
This is our newscaster.
It has to do with kind of everything going on. I'm just, you know, the world's a great place. The United States is a great place to live in, and when you have so many things going on like this, that, hey, listen, you got to give the good people the benefit of the doubt also.
And the good person is here, I want to tell you, is police Chauvin. I am a specialist in humanitarian ideas. You can see all my work. My first book, Our Need to Give to the World, Heal America, Love and God. In America, God First, America Save Our Legacy. My books, God First, America, Our Miracle. But they're political books. God First, America, Our Miracle. So the American people have the justice within them. And that's why our country's always been so great. But on the other hand, when things are not true, we need to speak up. And that's what I did in April 2021. But I did get a lot of backlash for doing it. And I wrote a case, even though I'm not a formal certified attorney. I studied law. But I want to tell you, this is an emergency. This is an emergency. And then they use Black Lives Matters. And Black Lives Matters is actually, they want to take to court. And they use the black people. And Black Lives Matters are multimillionaires' homes, and they used all the black people to start protesting. And the black people, they want 80% to 95% of all the black people want police protection. It's just that the leaders that are elite communists and woke, like the woke of Black Lives Matters, cause a lot of trouble and lies. Just like Katie Blackwell. And Mrs. Collins, our lovely newscaster here, is telling the truth. So let's go on.
Like you do the criminals all the time. And when you come in and you say something that is completely untrue, for whatever reason, that's what I can't figure out. Why?
See, these things are untrue. Just like the offices and things that's happening in our America, they all relate. Lisa Lucia Arden, you saw my work, that I'm the one that asked Elon Musk to come in. Okay, I asked Elon Musk to come in to work on our offices, because we're having so many problems. So this is my picture again. I apologize, I can't show my picture today live, so because they're distorting it. But this right here is my picture, Lisa Lucia Arden, and Elon Musk and President Trump's team are doing a beautiful job on the offices. But now we're taking it to Congress and to the House. It needs to be changed, because those things are true. The outcome is true. And this is the same relativity. We need to come to the truth of the situation of what they're doing to America, you know, in the places of what we need to come together to bring truth. And this is what they're trying to do. They are doing for the case of Police Chauvin did not kill Floyd. Let's go.
Why would you say that? You know, I mean, are you trying to save the city some money? We did this. So we trained this. So, hey, this is the truth.
The Attorney General of Minnesota,
There's
the
Mrs.
Governor
Collins.
of Minnesota, the Mayor of Minneapolis, even your former police chief, make this all about race. Do you think race played a role at all in the death of George Floyd?
Zero. That has nothing, race has nothing to do with it. And you can go back and look at all of it. They've never, I don't know if they even say it. It's just, they want to put it on race, and I think it was an agenda that's been coming.
See, it's not race, it's political ideology. It's political
What
ideology.
do you think is the most significant
Here it
thing
is right here.
in all of this?
If you think about this set of facts, I think the most significant thing about it, and the most racist thing about it, was calling it racist in the first place.
It's not racist.
And I think we saw this interjected early on. We're talking about the Facebook viral video. There's a bystander, or let me play along with the mainstream media version for a second. You had a bystander who was black speaking to Derek Chauvin, Officer Chauvin, who is white, working alongside Officer King, who is black, and you had Officer Tao, who is Asian American, in between them. And you have this bystander saying something like, there's Officer Chauvin looking.
So this is not a racist. It's a political ideology to take down the truth of America and also the controls of the Democrats. I want to tell you this. And here, let's go so we don't hold you so long and tell you the truth about beautiful Floyd. He was a beautiful man, a man that happened to be a drug addict, and by the course of the culture, and we need to forgive and understand. And we have a beautiful man that is our police Chauvin, that did a beautiful job doing his work. And so the first statement is that by scientific fact, the sole reason for Floyd's death caused by the restraint of his neck and back is false, because he had enlarged heart, symptoms of cardiomegaly, symptoms such as shortness of breath or raspy voice may occur physically active lying down flat. He had cardiac problems, enlarged heart, that causes shortness of breath and stop breathing, for any reasons, if he's stressed or if he's lying on his back. Then he had COVID, and so having COVID, he could have a life-threatening respiratory failure even after weeks of having COVID. Hence, Floyd's death wasn't caused by his neck being pressed by the knee of the legal action of Police Chauvin putting the knee on the neck. Then in the third statement, Floyd also, he had heart disease, okay? During stressful experiences, it is known that there's shortness of breath. He had heart disease also, not only enlarged heart disease, CCP virus, which causes respiratory failure. Then number 4, he also had methamphetamines in his cardiovascular disease. Plus, he also had methamphetamines on the vasoconstriction, pulmonary hypertension, atherosclerotic plaque formation, cardiac arrhythmias, and cardiomyopathy. He had all those causing cardiac dysfunction. That's all together, okay? That's number four, okay, of number 4, okay, what he had. Therefore, putting pressure on the neck and back would be more restraining and contraindicating than putting restraint and pressure on a normal person that did not have sickness. And remember, I told you, which is a very important point in the beginning, that he had shortness of breath when they put him back in the back of the car, okay? He had shortness of breath before the knee was put on his neck. And that showed he was already in a disease format. So it wasn't caused by the knee, the legal action of the knee that Police Chauvin put on Floyd. Then number 5, he had fentanyl. He had fentanyl He had phenylphenidae in his system. And phenylphenidae is a potent death-threatening drug contraindication of the highest deaths in history. You saw it. And the respiratory depression and respiratory depression with immediate cause of shortness of breath within minutes, you could die. And he had that in his system. Now, remember all that list of things. He also had carbon monoxide poisoning in his system, and it causes shortness of breath, and death can occur after. Some people, we see that them have carbon monoxide poisoning, we find them dead, but there's also other issues where their brain, the poison in fact that causes the brain to struggle for sufficient levels of oxygen. So the brain is also involved in the heart and brain and central nervous system all together in carbon monoxide poisoning. Floyd's death wasn't caused by the restraint of the neck and back. That is false, okay? Then the next is, number 8, is the severe health complications of increased heart disease, stroke, and sometimes death. He had hypertension. Hypertension, that means he constantly has hypertension of the heart, and any things that are brought on, even emotional stress, could even make it worse. That's why he was probably having shortness of breath when he got in the car, Also because of the stress, he was under stress for his crime, and he was caught by the police. Number 9, he had COVID. So I call it CCP virus. Remember, CCP virus does cause respiratory problems, and you could die from it right away, but it does cause respiratory problems even after having it a couple of weeks. And he reported notes that because of the positive results of coronavirus could persist weeks after the disease has resolved. There's 2 things that he with CCP virus, it causes weakness of all organs anyways, in the lungs, and also the shortness of breath. This is very, very serious. And respiratory problems. There's many contraindications of the CCP virus. Then there's phenylphenidae, and let's bring it up again. Time has proven fatal, a drug that requires such extensive warnings that unheeded leads to death the very moment you take it. The very moment you take it. Not only does it can sit in your system, and the phenylphenidae has the highest level of death of any drug, but it also has a fatal attack in time. It can happen anytime. We don't know when, whether you take it right away or later on you could die right away. Then phenylphenidae also is a chronic respiratory depression. And it's chronic respiratory depression, again, we repeat, and that you have after you take it. And then also, so this was in his system, phenylphenidae. It has so many contraindications that are detailed, that are relationship to the autopsy, which our beautiful friend said on the video, which you'll see on the video, and I'll hook that up to the posting here. Then phenylphenidae was in his system, and could be a scientific factor that caused him to have shortness of breath. When an individual has phenylphenidae in his system, is known as cause a person can have trouble breathing and not getting enough oxygen, to make it very simple for you. And then phenylphenidae has 100 times more potent than heroin. And he had phenylphenidae in his system. Consequently, restraining from Floyd's neck and back should not be the sole cause of his death, because above facts of the use of phenylphenidae. And then it's 100 times more potent than heroin. So also, we talked about phenylphenidae, but it's very important to understand that hence the death could come upon the user of the phenylphenidae anytime. Anytime. That's a separate point, because even though it's hypertension, respiratory system, it has high potency, anytime it could happen, even if it's been in your system, for a while. So this is very serious. So we don't know whether he died from phenylphenidae poison in drugs in his system. Then Floyd's death wasn't caused, by, again, we'll repeat the 14th point, by the knee, the legal position that trained from Minneapolis police station, police group, that it was a trained legal action that you could put the knee on the neck of any criminal to put them hold and keep them safe and keep the community safe. And these points weren't brought on, and here again, they weren't talked about at all on the court case. That he had phenylphenidae in his system and caused rapidity of action, causing respiratory depression within minutes of administration. That's another thing too, where it's rapidity, meaning it's rapid of action. It could cause respiratory depression within minutes of administration. And not only does it have respiratory problem, but it's also depression. And it has, the timing could be any time, and the action could be fast. And I don't know when he took the phenterpin. It's a very important point. Then he had chronic marijuana smoking, and everyone knows that chronic smoking marijuana causes shortness of breath and sometimes production of system of mucus in your system. And they even filter things and put things in the chronic marijuana smoking. They could put systems of other components of substances within the marijuana when they produce it. That's number 15. And then here it is. So and that causes shortness of breath. David, and then he also has a number 16, and it's not listed here, I apologize, is that he has a sickle cell anemia that they found. They found that he has a disease, heart disease, a sickle cell anemia, where blacks have it. Unfortunately, it's a disease that our Floyd had. So he had sickle cell anemia, so he had heart issues, heart weakness, heart problems because of his sickle cell anemia disease. And Dr. Fowler, a defense witness who previously headed a medical exam in Office, Maryland, later told jurors that the death should be categorized undermined instead of homicide because of Floyd's drug use and health. And that's what I believe. I believe, in my opinion, Mr. Floyd had sudden cardiac death. So we have to come together in truth. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for your time. God bless you.